Well, we start this March 18, 2023 with our cat Edmund bundled in the bed. Kind of, there we go. There's a good kitty. All right. We're dealing with 172,000. 172,332. It's 47 degrees Fahrenheit. It is March 18, 2023. You guessed it. There is Linda Spivey, and I'm Cole Spivey. Welcome to the Please Subscribe show. First part of our show, we're returning a movie called The Well, which I thought should have got a nomination for Best Picture. It got Best Actor, but I think it should have. It mostly deals with the topic of gluttony and extreme obesity. So it's a lot of different multicultural topics that was brought in. I think the reason it got so much attention as a play on Broadway is because of the design. The way it's designed, plays are neat to watch. And also the language, I think, is good. We've got a new great playwright known as Samuel Hunter, who basically got Brandon Fraser a Best Actor Oscar award. Heck of a playwright. So we'll be talking about that a little while. Talking about the multicultural aspects, bringing in more than one culture into a play. And even there's a religious aspect to it, which is kind of a new approach to a topic that's sometimes avoided, which is gluttony and obesity, sometimes avoided at the church. I think it should be addressed. So I liked it. All right, so I'm going to be reviewing, or kind of discussing The Well, which I got at Redbox. This is where I usually get a lot of the Best Picture nominations, or even Best Picture wins. And not a whole lot, but a play will get attention. This is from Lionsgate in A24. Brandon Fraser just won a Best Oscar. But plays do get attention, and I can promise you a play does something different to you than a movie. When you go and you watch a play, you witness real people in real time. You can even at times smell the people. I know that sounds crazy, depending on how intimate the theater is. You cannot do that in a movie. A movie is different. It washes over you, as one of my professors has said. Well, a play kind of enters you. But it's good to see a play get chosen to be a movie by someone like Darren Aronofsky, who is a big name in New York City and in Hollywood. It's good to see that he went to New York, sat down in a Broadway theater, or if it was probably, I'm assuming it was probably off Broadway. I'll have to do research on this to find out the history of the success of The Well. And he went to this theater and he saw a chance at a really good movie. And I thought he did an exceptional job. It wasn't exactly like all of Darren Aronofsky's movies. I was really impressed by Mother and Requiem for a Dream, of course, and a few others. Interruption. What's up?
Damn, that sucks.
Too early?
No. She had some kind of family emergency, and she only does the only hiring, so she won't be here for a week.
And that's all I'll say about The Well today. One thing, Samuel D. Hunter is I believe, NYU student. I believe, I don't know, I'm assuming he graduated. I went to the New School University. I did not finish my MFA degree in acting. I was part of the Actor Studio Drama School. But I had seen some of these types of plays when I was there, because we have three different departments. We have of course, an acting emphasis, we have directing, and then we have playwriting. So we have playwrights that are there, and then whenever they present their thesis at Bleecker Street, they'll show these types of plays. It had a very strong voice that sounded like the New York play. I just wanted to say that. They sometimes will hit upon similar multicultural themes. But one thing I wanted to say was, I think it hit upon an important topic, is the church and gluttony, especially obesity, extreme obesity. In this case, it was morbid obesity. I think the guy was like 600 pounds. But on stage, that design would be interesting to look at. So if you went into the theater, there'd be this freak show kind of thing that would get your attention. So Samuel was smart for paying attention to design. Like other playwrights, like Annie Baker, even Sam Shepard, also pay attention to design, what the stage looks like, what the actors may look like when they're on stage. Now, as a movie, it's very powerful because of the makeup, which I think they were given awards for, and I know that Brendan Fraser won for the acting, and that's, like, of course, what a playwright and a director would focus on. Other than that, there's many multicultural themes in it. There's a mentioning of, I think, a church called the New Life Church. I know that the playwright is from Idaho, and the characters were from Idaho. So it brought in religion in a way that a lot of other plays don't, and it approached morals and ethics, and even God, in a way that a lot of other plays don't. It deals with a topic that's going to be common, and that has come about, especially during COVID, because of weight gain. And I found some personal connections to the play. There's also one last thing. Darren Aronofsky, being a director, can hit upon things like horror. I think he does. He did it in Requiem. He did it in Mother. It's like a shock value that Darren excels in, and that may be what attracted him to the play, because he could revolutionize that. And this is definitely breaking rules and revolutionizing a side of filmmaking as well as acting. So that's kind of really what I wanted to say. I may riff on it here and there. When I see a movie, it becomes part of my show for a little while. I guess I got a little more time. Only 5 minutes is what I was going to say. But okay, so this playwright, Samuel D. Hunter, he won an Obie Desk Award in 2011. He's written tons of stuff. So he's obviously going down as like a Samuel French to-go playwright, where you might look him up to do stuff. I have a feeling The Well might be tossed around a little bit. Plays are very difficult to become famous and popular. Annie Baker became very popular in the American theater and all over everywhere, because she dealt with topics that could be related to. And this one certainly can, because we do know that obesity happens within the family for different reasons. And so this is probably Samuel D. Hunter's take, or kind of his perspective on why it happened to Charlie. And that's kind of the mystery that unveils. Now, in unveiling the mystery of why this man pretty much ate himself to death, reveals kind of topics like sin, of course, gluttony, loss of control, passion, religion, and also, in a way, there's a career choice kind of thing that's in there too, because the character Charlie is a teacher. So I think there's some concepts about culture and a mixture of these different cultures coming together and different ideals coming together in one room. It's set like in one room. And I think maybe also he's maybe making a reference to Jonah in the well because of the weather outside. I don't know if it's that way in the play. I'm sure maybe. When the door would open, there'd be rain outside. And Jonah, before he's cast into the waters, into the ocean, there's a great storm that happens, and they have to draw lots. And Jonah's job, and it's a book in the Bible, 4 parts. Jonah was told by God to go to a certain place called Nineveh, and he was to preach the word of God. And he chose to go a different direction and was carried back by the well. I'm pretty sure that's why it's called the well. And Jonah is taken in by a great fish and swam to the shore of Nineveh and then released, where he has to sleep under this weird looking worm tree thing or something. That's like a plant. And he finally starts preaching the word of God. It's very, very strange, just like the well is a little strange. So this character, whether it's Charlie that represents a well, taking these people in to us and then taking them to a certain land to preach this belief, or if what I thought maybe is the apartment itself was a well, and they were all encompassed, they were all affected by being inside of this beast, this great fish, and taken to this, land to be told to deliver this message. Because a message is part of the importance of the super objective of this play, because he wants his daughter to be a good person. There's a daughter character. There's also a nurse character. There is a missionary character. A young boy is a missionary. And then there's a delivery man who's also a character that you see for a moment. Not a whole lot of characters, but they're all reminded of something. And the well represents this idea of being carried back to a land to deliver a message. Thought it was interesting. Anyway, check it out. Samuel D. Hunter, new playwright. I see him as new because I just found out about him. NYU graduate, and he's tearing up the market in the American theater. He's reinventing a lot of ways of reaching people in a multicultural way. All right, see you next time. Also, we don't have like a big bio on Samuel D. Hunter, but I noticed they mentioned Idaho in it, which I thought was cool, because he brought in kind of his roots. Another thing a playwright should do is also bring in their roots. I think that's what he did. He stuck to his guns, stuck to his roots. Anyway, we're going to return it right here.
I don't know if it's a ghost one. It's hard to see.
It's Jack. Some people say I look like him. Legends of Hollywood right here. Yeah, he died when I was in New York, or around about that time. It's like 2001-ish. There's kids. This is a really nice lineup right here. We got Fleetwood, Elvis, Life Magazine, Elvis here. I met him. I met Patterson. I didn't get his autograph though, because I wasn't like the biggest fan, but my ex-wife did. Nice little lineup right here. Of course, the most iconic one. Yeah, everybody knows that. Other than a lot of the produce and nuts that they have these nice little boxes here If you'd like to paint on them or take them home, probably throwing away some used boxes. Your sugar bee and honey bear. It smells like nuts and raisins. In this little section right here, lots of nuts and raisins and energy, protein, keto balanced, digested omega-3. And just to let you know, kosher halves. I haven't advertised if we're inside an Albertsons, but I got the kosher halves right here. I'm looking for, I got pickle juice on my hands. I'm looking to wipe the pickle juice off my hands. I'm gonna wipe pickle juice off my hands. Somehow I got pickle juice. If you just watched The Well by Darren Aronofsky and playwright Samuel D. Hunter, you want to avoid this aisle right here. Don't even look at this aisle at all, especially these right here. Those are Easter basket cakes and ho-hos. Yeah, this is really bad. I'm avoiding this completely. Looks like they have all different types of honeys. When I was in New York, I used to go to the farmer's market and they'd have these types of honeys. Look at this though. It's a spicy honey. Chilies and vinegar. Yeah, it's a hot. There's a hot honey and a spicy honey. There's clover. Yeah.
Okay.
All right, we made it to the kiosk, and you just hit start here.
Thanks. You're all checked in. Wow, those samples were popular. I'm all out right now. Follow Friosk on social media to be the first to know what's next.
So Linda is working on her project.
Yay!
This is the other side of the gnome's house. There's the little gnome.
I thought it was Santa Claus.
You know, in a student film I did with Drake Dormus, a guy that made Like Crazy and worked with Anton Yekik. In the student film, there was a gnome in it, in the front yard. I played a pizza delivery guy, and I had to deliver a pizza with a bum, and the gnome peed on the lawn gnomes. Took a little pee on it, and that was the scene that I did.
Interesting. Didn't know that.
Yeah, the film's called The Bum.
What year was this?
2001. He got into AFI with the American Film Institute. There's another guy who helped get into film school. Always that little gnome. Remember, Drake?
Well, I ain't gonna get much money back anyway, so I don't think I was
I just work
in
on
a
our
rush to
taxes.
get it if you don't.